6 months from now, I'll be standing in the middle of the Jordanian desert with nothing but grit, gear and a goal. And this is more than a race. It's about pushing limits. It's about proving something to myself, to others and to life. My name's Steve O'Connor. I'm a former airman in the Royal Air Force. In my day job now, I'm a logistics leader and a coach, and I'm an adventurer. And it's something I came to much later in life because I suffered quite a serious illness when I was in my 40s, around about 2016, which resulted in 20 blood clots in my heart and lungs. And I was told by the doctors at the time that I'd received such scarring in my lungs that I was never probably going to be able to push myself and do anything sort of physical again. So I went out that day. When I got out of hospital about a month later, I bought a PlayStation. I played on it for half an hour and I thought, this cannot be my life. I cannot spend my life doing this. And I put it back on eBay, and the next day I started the couch to 5k, which was extremely difficult at the beginning, but I had the aim of maybe completing a half marathon or a marathon at some point, and decided to just push myself to that limit. Anyway, 6 months later I did complete that half marathon. I got a really good time, which better than anything I'd ever done before, of 1 hour 47. And then I worked towards completing a full marathon, which was the Manchester Marathon, 3 months after that. From that I started to go down the rabbit hole of endurance events, and I found an event called the Fan Dance, which was a Special Forces test march across the Brecon Beacons, and I thought, I'm going to give that a go. And I went out and I did that, not in a great time. It wasn't pretty, it hurt a lot, but I got it done. And that for me was the beginning of my journey into the world of endurance sports. I've not looked back since. I'm now 52 years of age. I feel fitter and healthier than I ever have, and I'm constantly pushing the envelope now to see what's out there and see how else I can challenge myself. The easy bit is getting the miles under my feet. That's always the easy bit. You can always do that. And that is something I've got to continue to do. And I'm in the very early days of training for this race. And like I said, that why of pushing myself, of taking myself out of my comfort zone into an area of discomfort that I'm not used to, is part of my why. And the other big part of my why as well, the external part of my why, is to raise funds for the Army Cadet Charitable Trust and ensure that more young people can get the great start in life I did with the Army Cadets. I think the way our schools operate probably isn't the best. We train and we teach people to just pass exams. We don't teach them the life skills that they actually need, and I learned all that with the Army Cadets as a young teenager, and that more than anything prepared me for adult life, a lot more than school actually did. And it's important that we give more young people the opportunity to do that, and that is why I've chosen the Army Cadet Charitable Trust as my charity, as my external why to get out there and to get this race completed.